This is the story of Josh Eccles, a seasoned diver from Jupiter, Florida, who found himself in the thick of an audacious and heart-stopping rescue mission nobody could have expected. Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these real-life stories every day. In the deep blue waters of the Atlantic, Eccles encountered a lemon shark in distress. Helping out a shark, especially one as big and strong as a lemon shark, seemingly is impossible. This is not just any shark, though. This is a tale of compassion, bravery, and how a small deed of kindness can permanently alter the life of a creature. Let us get to know Josh Eccles a little bit better before we get into the amazing rescue. Josh is a local diver with Emerald Dive Charters in Jupiter, Florida. He has gained recognition over the years for his thorough knowledge of the seas and the creatures in them. His team appreciates him because of his cool head and thorough knowledge of the water. Josh is one of those divers who just gets it, his team leader once said. He respects the ocean and everything in it. He's not just there to dive, he's there to connect. Eccles has been diving into Jupiter's seas for the past 5 years, and his daily schedule is anything but typical. For Josh Eccles, diving is a way of life rather than simply a hobby. Actually, he dives 3 times a day, every day, which has given him an unmatched degree of expertise. Beautiful reefs, spots of sea life, and glistening, clean waves are the best way to define Jupiter, Florida. But the ocean is not only gorgeous, it is also erratic. Hence, every dive presents fresh difficulties and surprises. From sea turtles to schools of fish to even, once in a while, sharks, divers frequently come across a variety of underwater life. Though Josh had a lot of diving experience, he had never seen anything exactly like this. Eccles' passion for the sea transcends mere excitement for diving. He values the beauty of the sea and respects the creatures that call it home. Spending so much time under the surface, Eccles has become close to the sea and its residents and constantly works to protect and preserve it. But when he came upon a distressed lemon shark, the events of that day would be unlike anything he had ever witnessed. It was, therefore, the final test of his compassion and bravery. Sharks have always captivated Josh, particularly the often-seen lemon sharks in the region. Both magnificent and frightening, these sharks have a unique yellowish hue and strong physique. It was an ordinary day. The sun was shining, the water was calm, and Josh Eccles was once again preparing to dive with his team. They prepared their gear with practiced efficiency, checking tanks and adjusting fins. But this time, something felt different. The ocean's normal, great expanse of blue had an odd tension in the water. Today, though, Eccles couldn't really put his finger on it. He felt something was off. He and his team were instantly conscious of a presence close by. As they descended into the Atlantic, a shadow moved in the distance, larger and more deliberate than the other creatures around them. At first, they thought it might be another diver or perhaps a curious fish. But soon, Josh noticed something he wasn't prepared for. A shark was approaching them. And it wasn't just any shark. At first, Josh felt a rush of adrenaline. Sharks were a common sight, but this one was behaving differently. The shark in question was a lemon shark. Usually not hostile to people, these creatures can be frightening. Nevertheless, in their habitat, lemon sharks are apex predators thanks to their big weight and powerful force. Usually regarded as somewhat solitary, they do not actively search for human connection. But this shark wasn't acting like any normal lemon shark. Instead of swimming away as most sharks would, this one kept nudging Josh, trying to get his attention. And then, to everyone's surprise, it began bumping into him. It wasn't just a casual bump. The shark was actively trying to communicate with him. Every time the shark nudged him, it lifted its head and exposed its belly. This strange behavior was unsettling. Sharks don't do this, and Josh knew something was wrong. The behavior was puzzling. Sharks are curious creatures, but this level of interaction was unheard of. Lemon sharks are known to bump into divers, but they don't do it like this, Eccles explained to WPBF. They don't bump into us that frequently. This was different. This female shark kept bumping into me, Eccles told CBS News. The shark continued to circle Josh and his team, repeating the same behavior, bumping him and then showing its stomach. It was clear the shark was trying to tell Josh something. But what could it be? She's trying to tell us something, Josh thought, his heart pounding. He could feel the weight of the moment. This wasn't just an encounter, it was a plea for help. Josh knew the shark's action was unusual. As he watched the shark more carefully, though they have sharp teeth and amazing strength and can grow up to 11 feet long, lemon sharks are not often hostile toward people. Josh had encountered them before and they had always been relatively calm. But now the shark seemed frantic and Josh could sense that the shark was in distress. Josh felt increasing discomfort as the shark kept bumping him. He understood he had to investigate what was happening. Then Josh saw something startling. As if a shark was pointing him to where the issue was, there, rising from the shark's belly, was a large hook. The shark had been carrying it for who knows how long, and it appeared to be causing the animal extreme pain. Deep in her skin, it was buried as a terrible reminder. Desperate to get the hook out, the shark could not accomplish it by itself. This was where Josh's expertise and quick thinking would come into play. It kept raising its stomach and showing the hook to me, Eccles added. To be really honest, it was really frightening. I realized, though, I had to act to assist this animal at the same moment. Later, Josh said, it was one of those times when you don't think. You just act. Examining the shark, Josh couldn't help but consider the resilience of these animals. This shark had likely been carrying the hook for months, maybe even years, and yet it had survived. It had endured the pain and adapted as best as it could. But now it needed help, and it had chosen Josh to provide it. The emotional weight of the moment was not lost on Josh. As a diver, he had always felt a deep respect for the ocean and its inhabitants. But now, with the shark's survival resting in his hands, that respect was transformed into a sense of responsibility. This was about giving this creature a second shot at life, not only about eliminating a hook. Josh sensed a connection that was difficult to articulate. As the shark hovered close by, its motions slow and intentional, the shark had reached out for help. Amid the expanse of the ocean, where people are sometimes viewed as invaders, this event highlighted the frailty of life under the sea and the special link that exists between people and animals. I've seen a lot of sharks over the years, Josh would later recall, but this one was different. She wasn't just surviving, she was asking for help. It's something I'll never forget. Back on the surface, Josh's team was equally captivated by what they were witnessing. They had seen sharks before, but this interaction was unlike anything they'd experienced. It was almost like she knew Josh was the one who could help her, one team member said. It was amazing to watch. For Josh, the decision to help wasn't a choice, it was instinct. And as he prepared to make his first attempt at removing the hook, he knew he was about to face one of the most challenging moments of his diving career. The hook was not small by any means. It was large enough to cause significant injury and distress. Josh's first instinct was to try and remove it, but the shark quickly swam away as soon as he made his move. It was a moment of frustration and heartbreak. The shark needed help, but she was understandably frightened. She didn't trust me fully yet, Josh explained, but I wasn't going to give up on her. It was a clear sign that this wouldn't be an easy task, but Josh was determined. Eccles has been diving for years, and he's accustomed to handling dangerous situations. But this was different. This wasn't a threat. It was a creature in need, and he knew that the shark was depending on him to help. So without hesitation, he prepared himself for his second attempt. Josh kept trailing the shark as it swam away and returned each time, hoping to get a closer view of the hook buried in its belly. Clearly nervous, the shark trusted Josh enough to return for a second round of assistance. This was no ordinary interaction. It was an opportunity for Josh to make a real difference. Josh gently gripped the head of the shark to stabilize it now that it was calm to determine the best approach to remove the hook. He understood he had to have a better look at it, since the shark was far bigger and stronger than Josh. This was no easy work. It was metal, Josh recalled, and it wouldn't budge at first. I had to slowly pull to get it out. The hook was stuck deep inside the shark, and it was no easy feat to get it free. But Josh didn't give up. He continued working the hook slowly but surely, determined to free the shark from its torment. The process was painstaking. Every tug felt like a battle against the ocean itself. But Josh's determination never wavered. He could feel the shark's trust growing with each passing moment. And then finally, the hook came free. It took several tries, but eventually Josh succeeded. Josh was shocked by the size of the hook as it came out with an abrupt tug. The hook was big, roughly the size of his hand, and it was obvious why the shark had been trying so fervently to get rid of it. It had been burying the hook for far too long, and today it was at last free, thanks to Josh. Josh thinks the hook had been consumed by the shark more than a year ago, and then made its way out of her body over time. Who knows how long the shark had been trying to get rid of it, but now, because of Josh's patience and bravery, she could go on free from the weight of the hook dragging her down. After the hook was removed, something truly incredible happened. As if the shark was expressing its gratitude, it swam toward Josh and his team, filming the whole exchange. They caught the instant the shark swam up to the camera. Josh exclaimed, his voice full of passion. It was as if the shark was saying thank you. I've never experienced anything like it. Now off the hook, team watched the shark swim off into the vast blue sea. Still, the story didn't stop there. Josh and his crew had been documenting the whole exchange, catching the amazing moment when the shark came toward the camera. It was as if she wanted the world to see her relief, her gratitude, and her second chance at life. The shark's actions were nothing short of extraordinary. This was a moment few people will ever experience, the chance to help a powerful creature like a lemon shark in need and to witness its appreciation. The shark had come to Josh for help, and after being freed, it showed its thanks in the most beautiful way. Having been diving for years, Eccles was profoundly impacted by the meeting. Though he had always loved the sea and its inhabitants, This event changed his perspective of it. It served as a reminder that trust is something even the most terrifying marine life may have, and occasionally, we might have to assist them. Josh Eccles is a hero, not just for removing the hook from the shark's gut, but also for taking the time to realize the shark needed help. Though the thought of approaching such a strong beast would have scared many people, Josh saw a chance to change things. Not thinking twice, his bravery let the shark go on living in the waters of Jupiter, Florida, free from the weight of the hook. His fast thinking and relentless bravery rescued the life of a species most people dread. More than that, though, his narrative has motivated many others to view the ocean as a place of wonder, beauty, and connection rather than as a place of danger. Eccles' actions remind us that often the most heroic deeds are those carried out silently and without fanfare. This was a modest, brave deed under the surface of the water, not a dramatic rescue featuring flashing lights or a crowd of witnesses. For the shark, nonetheless, it meant everything. Josh's bravery and compassion will help this lemon shark to remain in its natural environment. This is the tale of how one person's desire to assist may make all the difference. In a world where so many creatures are under threat, Josh Eccles' actions are a perfect model of what it means to really care. Ultimately, Josh Eccles had an almost unbelievable experience that day. Someone getting to participate in such a remarkable underwater rescue is not something one does every day. It reminded Josh of our interaction with the natural world and how sometimes the least anticipated animals may astound us with their trust and thankfulness. If you liked the video, kindly give it a thumbs up and think about showing it to someone who could find inspiration in it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.